Hello, everybody. Internet, Facebook, YouTube, halfmeasuresroom.com. This is Oliver, your host of the video log on alcoholism and drug addiction and recovery from those diseases. I so happy I'm able to bring this to you. I wasn't sure about this Sunday how it was going to work for me. I've been at this men's retreat for sobriety and the 12 steps, and it was gonna be over today early, and I was wanting to maybe stop at a spot on the way back. I saw a bunch of places along the riverbed that I thought were really good to pull off some picnic tables. But the longer I stayed here throughout the weekend, I just was like, man, I really should try and do it here. And I found this spot with the with the dam and the water running over it from the river, and I just thought this was a perfect spot. And it's right here at the campsite, so I didn't have to go very far. I'll give you a little bit of history and details about this place. There's rivers in the hill country of central Texas, and one of them is the Frio, one of them is the Guadalupe, and they're spring fed, which the water is just stays the same degrees all year round, like a 60-degree temperature. So in the winter time it's warm, and it's kind of like being in a hot tub, and in the summertime it's just freezing cold and great for really hot weather. I didn't go swimming. It's October, and it's kind of a chilly time of year, so I really didn't feel like swimming. But I did do some hiking, and there's a big bluff up here. It's about 400 feet tall. This is like a canyon, and it's the mouth of the Frio River. This is where the water starts springing up from the ground, and you can see it in some of these grassy knoll areas. Water, like a waterfall, is just coming off the sides of these hills. It's just a beautiful country, and great. There's not a whole lot of city noise and lights. We climbed up to the top of that 400-foot bluff, and last night to look at the stars. It's just no clouds in the sky. As you could see the Milky Way, and just gorgeous. No moon. All you saw was the stars, and just clear as night. No illumination from big cities surrounding. I think San Antonio is probably the closest big city to this area, and it's still too far south to bring any light. I think the really closest smaller town is Kerrville. I don't know if anybody knows about Kerrville that's watching this, but Kerrville is a very recovery-centered town. A lot of meetings going on. They have a folk festival there, a Kerrville Folk Festival. It's really cool. It's been a big deal. But this is near Leakey, which is a little further west than Kerrville, and this is in a foundation camp set up by the HEB people. HEB, for those of you who don't know, is it's a grocery store chain here in Texas, and it's huge, and they have really low prices. And one of my favorite things about HEB is they have this thing called HEB Plus, which with my diet, because of my Crohn's disease, I have to eat a lot of organic stuff, non-GMO, and foods of that nature, non-gluten, no dairy, no sugar. And HEB Plus is really good about carrying that stuff. I really like shopping there more than I like shopping at Whole Foods. It's cheaper, more affordable, and so that's where I try to get most of my stuff. This weekend is a really big ordeal for those of you that maybe watching this for the first time. This men's retreat was all about working the steps in a period of 3 days, all 12 steps, and so there's different presenters talking about the step work, and even little activities. It's changed a little since 2 years ago when I came. And there's actually some activities that we did for each step, and questions we asked, and we got together in groups, and just a beautiful time. And there's a lot of free time to spend alone or with groups of people to go hiking and checking out the place. This foundation camp is it's nonprofit, so whatever money that they have extra at the end of this retreat, they'll donate to the foundation. And giving thanks for letting us stay here. There's a very full place. This place is like about 2,000 acres, I think, in size, and there's many different campsites to choose from, and it was full. From what the ranger guy was telling us it was full this weekend. So it's really just a pleasure being a part of this. The registration was very inexpensive, about 65 bucks, and that pays for food and lodging. All you got to bring is like a flashlight if you're going to go hiking at night, and a pillow and some blankets and clothes. The food's all taken care of, and there's electricity here. Just no phone coverage. We're out in the middle of the Texas Hill Country, so you lose coverage on your phone, which is great for this kind of retreat. You want to block out the outside world and get more centered in your sobriety and how you're doing that to change your life and bring God into things. I really don't know what else to say about what's going on with me right now. I'm still doing work at this new job. I start class and a new course at school for college on Tuesday. So I'm looking forward to that. Getting prepared for that. Got a nice ride back to town. I love driving through the hill country. I know some back roads. I used to travel a lot for work, so I know some great back roads to view the country. So I'm really looking forward to the trip back and getting rested at home and having some time to spend before I go to the meeting at 8 o'clock. I celebrated a year last night. They have a birthday night at my home group back in Cedar Park, but this was much more beneficial, picking up a chip here with a group of guys, and a lot of them who know me and know what I've been through this past year, and it was really special picking up that chip. Since last year I was registered to go to this conference, but ended up in jail instead for the DWI. But I haven't had a drink since that day on the 25th, and it was just really awesome to celebrate a year. But something I did last year and I wanted to do again this year is I kept a book that I wrote, stuff that I found out that I liked hearing about the 12 steps, and I went looking for that book in some boxes and stuff, and I couldn't find it. It's a great leather case book with a cross on it and some prayers written in the cover, and I looked everywhere. I could not find that book, so I got another one that was brand new and wrote in that. And I didn't write a whole lot. I tried to spend a lot of time listening and really focusing on the intent of the presentations. But I did write a few things about each step, and I wanted to at least go through the first five proposals in the 12-step program of recovery to share with y'all before we get into step 6. So let me find this. I'm holding my this is not a picnic table I'm at, so I'm having to hold this laptop with my hand. Let's see here. This just so you don't know, this men's retreat was called the Growth and Understanding. It's the next function is the group that organizes this thing, and I put today is important, not tomorrow. Step 1, made a supreme sacrifice rather than continued to fight. The main problem of the alcoholic addict centers in the mind, yet self-knowledge avails us nothing. And I really like the paradox of that statement there. Step 2, I wrote what I heard was God is never too busy to listen to you, and if you listen to Him, He will restore you to sanity. False beliefs cause problems in life. So step 2 is really important to have my own conception, no matter how vague and unique it may be. It has to be something that I truly believe in and have pure faith in. Just coming up with something or believing someone else's beliefs just because that's the easiest way to do it is not good enough for me. Even it has to be a tile in the ceiling or a doorknob on the door. Or the group of drunks or the good orderly direction, if I don't like the word God. Step 3, God could and would if He were sought. God consciousness is awareness of a power greater than ourselves, abandoning ourselves utterly to Him. Step 4, making room. I really like this one. Making room in the shelf life of my head to let God in. I can't fix my mind on the same level that created it. And step 5, the things I wanted to take in the things I wanted to take to the grave are what kept me drunk. They are what separated me from the rest of the world. And whenever a human being becomes a battleground for instincts, there can be no peace. But going along with step 6, there's a few other readings I wanted to get to, but step 6 for me, it talks about it being the difference between the men and the boys. It's a very important step, and in the readings in the big book, the first book of the 12 steps that I ever was introduced to, that I ever read, step 6 and 7 were talked about in a period of two paragraphs only, and most of the chapter was spent on some other steps that went into a little more detail. So the 12 and 12 I think is a really good place to read about step 6 and 7, and I think they really should be separated. Something going through my inventory and finding out the defects of my character and the faults that I have that have caused the destruction and these poor feelings and these thoughts that continue to plague me. It's no good just admitting these things to myself and to another person and to God. They have to be removed in order for me to lead a better life and to not make those mistakes again. So I have to really want those things to be removed, and that's for some of these defects, that's a hard thing to really come to, and I've had questions about this in my mind, and I know that selfishness is definitely one of those, and that's something I dealt with yesterday, as a matter of fact, and that came to me when we started talking about steps 4 and 5. I thought about myself a lot this weekend when I first got here, and doing my 4th step, I found another defect that was repeated in that inventory that I took here. Was not only was I thinking about myself a lot, but I was thinking less of myself because of mistakes I've made and thoughts that I've had and feelings that have come up. So on step 6, the presentation I wrote, it is important to take a better look at the 4th column in the inventory, finding effects mentioned over and over again. Lord, help me to be a channel of your peace. And that's one of the prayers that was repeated over and over again during one of the meditations. And the guy that did the meditation activity was telling us to really try to focus on either a sentence or a phrase in that prayer for us to focus on for that meditation. And for me, that was the sentence, the making a channel of my peace. Let me go ahead and read stuff in the other literature that I like that deals with the 6th step. I think is very important. Number 1, I found this stuff on the 4th step in the 12 and 12 that I really liked. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. It says, whenever a human being becomes a battleground for the instincts, there can be no peace. But that is not all of the danger. And then on the other page, 45, it says, if we are pretty nice people all along except for our drinking, what need is there for a moral inventory now that we are sober? And I was talking to somebody about this earlier this morning. If cessation of alcohol and quitting using drugs was my only solution, then what's the need for a 12-step program? I could do this on my own power. Why would I need a higher power? Step 1, admitting that I have a problem with alcohol and drugs and that my life is unmanageable, that would be the only step that I need to take, right? It would just be a 1-step program, and I could do this on my own. But there's really a lot more to it than that, and it talks about alcohol and drugs. The elimination of those in my life is just the beginning. There's a much more comprehensive study of my behaviors and my life and my actions in order for me to really make headway in life. Because drinking and drugging was not just a physical ailment for me. There was also spiritual and emotional and mental problems that I was having. There were lots of different reasons, and I've talked about this in other vlogs, lots of other reasons, a number of different reasons why I chose to use drugs and alcohol. And the main reason was because it changed the way I felt. But there are lots of ways and times that I did not feel right, and I wanted to feel different. And eventually I just liked the feeling of staying loaded, so sobriety was just the thing I hated most about my life, and I tried my best to stay loaded continually, as much as I could, which It involved work and family and friends, and they were the ones that saw that I had a problem before I did. I was the first person to admit that I had a problem. Everybody else knew. I think that's what kept me alone. That's why I was drinking and using alone a lot. That's where that solidarity came in. It was because everybody else knew that I had problems with it. Let me go into the step 6. There's some stuff in here that I really like too that was important to me. It says, having been granted a perfect release from alcoholism, why then shouldn't we be able to achieve by the same means a perfect release from any other difficulty or defect? This is the riddle of our existence, the full answer to which may be only in the mind of God. Nevertheless, at least a part of the answer to it is apparent to us. And that's something else I thought about more the last time I did this vlog. I talked about how we should be able to put 100% into the rest of the steps. But the more I thought about going through step 6 and step 7, these are a little bit harder steps to follow. And I think, like I've said before, God is not going to be removing all these defects, and I'm not going to be willing to have these defects removed all at once. It's going to be a time thing, something I'm going to have to continue. And that's why I don't like this thing being called a 12-step program. I think it's more of a way of life. I'm going to be continuing this stuff if I want to continue to stay sober. And that's part of step 12, which we'll get to later on, is the practicing these principles in all my affairs. It's not just the alcohol and the drugs that are causing the problems. That's like the crux of it. But, why did I pick these up? Why did I choose to do these? But aside from the physical allergies and the ailments, what was the emotional and the spiritual stuff that was causing the problem and helping me make this choice. Let me see further on here. Where is it? Oh yeah, I definitely thought this was important. It says here on page 68, it seems plain that a few of us can quickly or easily become ready to aim at spiritual and moral perfection. We want to settle for only as much perfection as will get us by in life, according, of course, to our own various and sundry ideas of what will get us by. So the difference between the boys and the men is the difference between striving for self-determined objectives and for the perfect objective, which is God. And down at the bottom it says, the only urgent thing is that we make a beginning and we keep trying. This is not something that I can perfect this first go around. I continue doing this stuff and improvement, because my life will change. Over time things will change. More issues will come up, more benefits, joys will be introduced. So it's important for me to continue this way of life and looking for those things in me that are causing my failures and issues and problems. And the more I look to God for these answers, the more will be revealed to me. That's the perfect thing about my higher power. He works through other people. He works through events in my life. God is through everything, and through me if I allow Him to. And there's certain ways that I can do that, and it's not just a daily occurrence, but it's something that I have to do throughout my day. Not just going to one meeting is just an hour out of my day. I still have 23 more hours that I have to take care of. So it's important for me for this to be a way of life and not just a program that I participate in 1 hour out of each and every day. So that's where I'm at with the step work. Step 6 is where we're at. When we talk about next week, we'll do step 7. But I'm ready to make that trip back home. I was thinking about what to do as far as the links that I like to put on the bottom of this video on the Half Measures Room website. And somebody was telling me about this HEB Foundation has a website. We went up did that hiking and to go to that bluff from our campsite. It's about a 2-mile trip through the woods on this trail through these rocks and up on top of the canyon. It's a good trip. About halfway through there's a sign for this place, this campsite called the Quiet Place, which I had questions about. And the guy that went hiking with us, he's been here before many times through church camps, and he was telling me that this quiet place is just a cabin. It's one little cabin. This campsite we're at has many cabins. We had 100 men here to do this retreat this year. But this quiet place is just one cabin, and the only way to get there, there's no way to drive up there, and there's no parking lot, no road. You have to hike 0.7 miles up there from another parking lot. And there's electricity, but he didn't know if there was running water. But he was telling me on the website I can look at pictures of this cabin, and it's they call it the quiet place. It's for like couples to go and have some meditation time, some quiet time to be with each other, and it's about $50 a night, and it's something that I was wanting to look into for my wife and I. So that's the link I want to put down underneath the video today. I should have time when I get back this evening to put this up on the internet, and I want to put a link to that website so y'all can have a little more footage and video and photos of where I'm at, a little more history behind this foundation, which is just a beautiful place. It's real serene, and it's what do you call spiritually centered. There's a lot of spirituality here, and I think people that come here, that's what they're looking for in their lives, is more spirituality. So good to see y'all, and see y'all next week. If I can stop this thing.